me, I'll have a drink if I want to, but usually not, and maybe just a little, or I don't know.
Right. Usually not just one.
Yeah.
He often doesn't feel well afterwards. Alcohol is poison in the system. It's the
Yeah,
marketing,
it is.
the marketing, muscle that has gripped this nation
Oh,
and is now
yeah.
targeting women.
No, because the liver is the most important organ. I tell all my clients that, but it's the most important
Yeah,
organ for a woman. So when you're going through menopause, you're definitely screwing up because it'll mess your hormones. So your
absolutely.
hormones are also messing up. So then it becomes even people that go into early menopause, it's usually because they drink too much. I can say that with a fact.
Interesting.
Yes, I can say that with a
Thank
fact.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
so I can definitely work with the food aspect of that, and then repairing neurotransmitters that depend on the alcohol. Yeah, that's very important.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Kimberly, when I get my coaching business, when it launches, I want you to guest on, because I do a segment on food, and I would love for
Yeah.
you to
I,
guest on my
I,
program.
I would love to, because the food's so important for helping to monitor and balance out the need to have those neurotransmitters triggered. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So Jill, let me ask you, you started your recovery, what date was that basically? When did you go to your inpatient experience?
Yes, 2016.
Okay. And then you were there for 30 days. And then did you, the other mountain that you're talking about that, you have to climb, I think, was that the hardest mountain that you had?
I love that question. I would say yes.
I would say it would be too, right?
Yes, and that is what Humble Warrior Women coaching is all about, is the second mountain.
Mm.
There are so many amazing programs out there that focus on the first mountain.
Oh gosh, this is a great question.
Yes, yes, bullseye.
So can you share a little bit? Because I know at one point then you chose to go to India. What's the time from when you left your inpatient to what you experienced, and then when you went to India? Because we just had a conversation about the brain and meditation, and how when we step back and we quiet the mind, then the body can begin to heal. So tell me a little bit about that process for you.
Absolutely. So it was a year later. So I got out in September, and a year later, October, is when I went to India. And it's exactly right. All of a sudden, it just, everything became crystal clear to me, as to why I was struggling, how I could help, or why I had struggled. All of a sudden I saw it in the past. I knew that I had stepped into my future.
Now that happened when you got to India, or did something happen that said, I need to go to India? What was that process right there, that year that you were out of inpatient?
Okay. So my last relapse was New Year's Eve of, 16. And I'm sorry, 17. And it was a crazy relapse, because I didn't even want to be relapsing. I was just lost. I was lost without alcohol. Everywhere around me, the world was celebrating. It was New Year's Eve. Aren't you supposed to be celebrating? Aren't you supposed to be drinking? And so I thought, well, if I quietly drink and then be happy, I could just, but no, that's a lie. And there's no going back. There's never going back. And at this point, who was I kidding? And so January 1st became my sober date. And I literally dropped to my knees and asked the universe to help me. Mm-hmm. I surrendered completely. I gave it up. Jill Rathburn was no longer in charge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Total surrender. Yes. Mm-hmm. Getting chills telling this. And I did that and still do it, but for a year straight. Every morning I would ask on my knees, for help to have an amazing, beautiful, enlightening, sober day. And at the end of the day, I would go to gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, and thank the universe for helping me go to bed clean and sober that night. And this became a pattern.
Oh, good.
And I went to AA every single day, 90 meetings in 90 days. In fact, sometimes I went twice a day. I would go in the morning, and then during the day, if I would feel like a little uneasy, I would go back. So that became kind of my community. And all of a sudden, everything about AA resonated with me. And instead of looking at the differences, I was looking at all the similarities, and I would belly laugh with these people. I mean, there is nothing funnier than being with people who are recovering from an addiction and having aha moments together and sharing, you know, the shit show stories together. You know?
Oh, gosh.
It's laughter's so healing, right?
Yes. It's
so
funny.
What took you to India then?
So then, as I say, I got with a coaching program. While I had amazing counselors, counseling tends to look at how you got there, and coaching tends to take you where you are and move you forward. So I was ready for that, and I got involved with the coaching program, and they, as a community, were going to India to study yoga, and there was nothing that I wanted to do more than study yoga, because I started doing daily yoga. Good. And so it was in India that the transformation continued. And that's when I realized that I wanted to become a recovery coach, and I wanted to help women in recovery from alcohol use disorder. And I wanted to, because like I say, I think it's like this secret or this absolute confusion out there that alcoholism is this disease that you have to be like Skid Row on the streets in a trench coat with a brown bag pint in your pocket to have the problem. No. Successful women who have amazing families and amazing careers and actually work out and are yogis and are cyclists and athletes do use alcohol in an abusive way, because it is their coping strategy, and then it grips them, and they're thinking, oh, I can handle this. I've handled everything else. I'll figure this out. And no, life moves on, and it gets worse. And then you start hiding, because then you realize, maybe I can figure it out, but I don't know any other solution.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
So from all of this, where was the moment that the Humble Warrior Woman coaching program kind of come into your?
Exactly. I just realized in India that I would embark on and seek out a coaching certification program. And I did a lot of research and found an excellent one, and then became niche certified in both wellness and recovery. And because I have an active nursing license, I mean, it all just fit. I've always been into wellness. And so I just realized that I would name it Humble Warrior Women, because of the humble is, to get sober and transform, you need to drop to your knees, which is the humble part. You need to be as strong as you possibly can and fight for your life back. And that's the warrior part. Mm-hmm. And I want to be working with women. So Humble Warrior Women.
Beautiful. And you had a beautiful family to fight for. And that definitely gives people more fighting. Yeah.
Yes. I think you hit the nail on the head, Jill, when you said, it's not the people in the trench coats in the gutter with the bottle. It's normal people that are hiding. And that hit my heart when you said that, because I know that those, quote, normal people that are hiding, they don't want it to be that way. And I love the stand that you're taking to really be able to climb that second mountain and climb it to the top and get to the other side. That is such a beautiful story.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And what's really exciting too is when Shakti is the earth's energy, and it's the divine energy, the divine feminine energy. So our earth's feminine divine energy is already with us. So we just need to pull it all together. The universe has our back. And yoga is critical in recovery. And I will be obviously incorporating that in my program. So my mission statement is with the focus to heal, empower, and transform. I support women in early recovery from alcohol use disorder, seeking renewed purpose, health, and vitality to create limitless possibilities in their lives.
Beautiful.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. So where can people find you, my dear? And how do they find you?
Yes. So I'm launching an amazing recovery program. It'll be a group coaching program taking 25. I'm capping it out at 25 women. And that will launch in March. You can find me at humblewarriorwomen.com. Or my email is jill@humblewarriorwomen.com. And we will be launching, actually this is perfect timing for this show because we are launching this week. And as people sign up, I will be communicating with them to just make sure it's a perfect fit. And when we get our 25, we're going to cap it. And it's going to be an extraordinary program, a 6-month program focused on healing, empowering, and transforming.
I love it. Oh, that is so great. Wow. What an inspiration you are, my dear. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. We could definitely go on and talk more about this very important topic. I know you're going to make a lot of difference to our listeners. So thank you, everyone. And thank you to Integrative Healing Arts and Wellness Center for their sponsorship for our show. And thank you all for joining us today. And be sure to listen in next time.